guest mentor Jennifer Hudson, and her team coach Michael Bublé, who referred to Roberts as one of his favorite singers, were the individuals that guided her through the process. Edward Preble, a vocalist from Florida, and Jay Paul, who was some backup for R&B crooner Stephanie Mills, were the performers that Roberts, who is 18 years old, performed against. Roberts, who graduated from the High Valley Charter High School for the Arts at the age of 18, was given the opportunity to select her own song during the knockout rounds, as is common throughout these rounds. The song "The One That Got Away" by Perry was chosen by her as a manner of paying tribute to her mother Sheila. "I am fortunate to have a mother who is very encouraging of my musical endeavors." Shye's Diaries is the name of the YouTube channel that she established. Before approaching the stage, Roberts stated that she had participated in a series of skits with her siblings and herself, in which she played the role of her little star. Because she was in the hospital and she was concerned that she would not be able to spend more time with me, she decided to create the series that she will upload on YouTube. It was a means to demonstrate to me, in the event that she was not around throughout my childhood, that this is the way she viewed me through her eyes. Unfortunately, I was able to maintain my mother. As Shye Roberts made her way onto the stage for her performance in the knockout round of The Voice Season 26, the tension was obvious. Katy Perry's "The One That Got Away" is an emotional ballad, and she was getting ready to perform it. The bright lights showed her confident figure as she grabbed the microphone. Although it was a daring song choice that required vocal perfection as well as the ability to tell a narrative from the heart, Shye was the only person who was willing to take on the task. Shye, a phenom hailing from Denver, Colorado, was already making waves during her blind audition when she astonished the coaches with a heartfelt rendition of Fleetwood Mac's Dreams. Shye is currently 20 years old. In the end, she became a member of Team Michael Bublé as a result of her performance, which earned her a 4-chair turn. In the time that had passed since then, Shye's path through the competition had been characterized by a combination of vulnerability and fortitude, attributes that had won her the affection of the coaches as well as the fans. Following the beginning of the piano introduction, the crowd in the studio held their breath collectively, and Shye did not waste any time in making the song her own. Every note contains a story. Beginning with the very first line, "Summer after high school, when we first met," Shye imbued the lyrics with emotions that were unfiltered and unfiltered. The haunting quality that she carried in her voice, which was a beautiful blend of force and vulnerability, immediately distinguished her from other people. Instead of imitating Katy Perry's pop stylings, Shye intentionally slowed down the speed just a little bit, which allowed the words to have some breathing room. Through the use of this small alteration, she was able to underline the pain and longing that were inherent in the song. Shye's performance was well complemented by the stage design. In a manner reminiscent of a summer sunset, gentle, golden lights descended, evoking the bittersweet melancholy that is expressed in the lyrics. An enormous projection screen was located behind her, and it flashed ephemeral pictures of hands, linked and Polaroid snapshots. These images served to emphasize the lyrics of the song, which were about lost love and cherished memories. The intensity of her singing gradually increased, beginning with a gentle and almost conversational tone, and then building up to a towering chorus. Her voice broke ever so slightly on the word "life," a purposeful choice that sent shivers through the crowd. "In another life, I would be your girl," she sang, her voice breaking ever so slightly on an occasion. This was when Shye truly sparkled. Every crack and quiver felt genuine, as if she were reliving her own pain in real time. It was in these defects that she truly shone. An uncommon taking on the meaning. During the second verse, Shye delivered a performance that was one of the most memorable moments of the show. Rather than adhering to the song's original arrangement, she incorporated a minor riff that lent a bluesy undertone to the song. Not only did this unexpected turn of events highlight her creative abilities, but it also displayed her willingness to take chances, which is a crucial quality for any such aspiring artist to possess. When the bridge was being performed, the performance reached its emotional pinnacle. "The one that got away, the one that got away." When she reached this point, Shye knelt down, her voice cracking with the agony of desperation. While she was singing "Away," She hit a high note that was absolutely flawless and resounded with such clarity that it left no room for question about her vocal abilities. This was the kind of event that could transform one-time watchers into devoted followers for life. There was a sudden outpouring of applause from the audience, and for a brief time, their cheers threatened to drown out the last few notes of her song. Reactions from the coaches. Shye stood up as the final chord faded away and the lights on stage darkened. She was plainly distraught, yet she smiled through the tears that she was crying. The coaches promptly followed the audience's lead and gave her a standing ovation after she had finished speaking. She was being coached by Michael Bublé, who appeared to be a pleased parent. He was shaking his head in astonishment while clasping his hands together in front of his mouth. After the clapping had subsided, he initiated the conversation by saying, "Shye, I knew you were talented the moment I heard you during the blinds. Nevertheless, this was a completely different thing. Not only did you sing that song, but you also told a story with it. We were all moved to some degree by your performance, and that is exactly what it means to be an artist. I could not be more pleased to have you as a member of my team." Reba McEntire, another coach who is well known for her straightforward criticism, expresses the same level of enthusiasm. "Darling, you've got a gift," she replied with the kind of love that is characteristic of her. "I had the impression that I was sitting diagonally across from you and listening to your narrative since your performance was so genuine and sincere. You've taken a popular song and transformed it into something that is quite intimate. It is not a simple task, but you have done an excellent job." Even though he was the wild card among the instructors, Snoop Dogg was acting in an unusually serious manner. While leaning forward in his chair, he said, "Man, that was fire for sure. Shye, you have a lot of in you, heart and soul. What about the way you turned that tune around? Brilliant mind. If Michael ever decides to let you go, you will have a place on my squad anytime you want it." Lastly, Gwen Stefani shared her opinions with the audience. "I am blown away by the tone that you have. It is truly one of a kind and brimming with personality. I am blown away by the way in which you connected with the audience. This evening, I believe you have just experienced a breakthrough moment." From Shye's point of view. Behind the scenes following the performance, Shye took some time to contemplate the significance of the song to her. She went on to explain that she had selected "The One That Got Away" because it struck a chord with her on a multitude of levels. It doesn't matter if it's a relationship, a friendship, or even a dream that we let go of. We've all been through some kind of loss at some point in our lives. I was able to harness those feelings and transform them into something beautiful through the experience of listening to this music. In addition, she acknowledged Michael Bublé as a contributor to the improvement of her performance. "Michael really encouraged me to conduct a thorough investigation and locate the emotional center of the song. Over and over again, he emphasized to me that it is not about being perfect, rather, it is about being genuine. I believe that the guidance was the deciding factor in everything." The choice regarding knockouts. It was not an easy decision for Michael to make when it came time for him to pick between Shye and her knockout competitor, Mia Castillo, who is a strong singer and is only 17 years old. The coaches unanimously agreed that Mia's performance of Adele's Rolling in the Deep was absolutely wonderful, and she received a lot of praise for it. Nevertheless, it was evident that Shye's performance had had a more profound effect on the audience. The announcement that Michael was going to make came after a brief period of reflection. "This is the most difficult decision I've had to make up to this point," he remarked, his voice dripping with the weight of his feelings. "I have no doubt that both of you will achieve great success in your respective careers. You are both incredible. When it comes to this competition, however, the artist who I will be moving forward with is Shye." At the same time that Shye's face lit up with a mixture of excitement and surprise, the audience burst into shouts. Before moving to Michael, she gave Mia a close hug and whispered some words of encouragement to her. Michael then pulled her into a jubilant embrace. With Shye Roberts, what is the next step? After securing her victory in the knockout, Shye is now moving on to the live playoffs, where the stakes will be significantly higher than they have ever been before. Her ability to connect emotionally with her songs is something that many of her fans consider to be her greatest talent. and they're already buzzing about the possibility that she will make it to the final round. Michael remarked in an interview that took place after the concert that Shye is a star in the making. The combination of talent, passion, and genuineness that she possesses is quite remarkable. I won't be able to wait to find out what she does next. Shye, on the other hand, continues to be modest and focused. She expressed her gratitude by saying, "I am simply thankful for the opportunity to share my music with the world. I believe that it is more important to remain loyal to who I am and to give every performance my absolute best effort than it is to win or lose." From the sound of her rendition of The One That Got Away, it is clear that Shye Roberts is well on her way to being one of the most memorable contestants to ever compete on The Voice.